This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA.
Road to national.
Good evening and good afternoon, I should say. I'm so used to night matches. Welcome everybody here inside Foley Gymnasium as we get set for this Little East Conference Championship volleyball match featuring the third-seeded Panthers of Plymouth State University as they get set to take on the Beacons of the University of Massachusetts Boston in the 4th seed. Hello everyone, I'm Dan Salzer, along as always with Coach and Chris Kilmer as we welcome you into the pregame show. Chris, this is a battle that's been shaping up all season long between Plymouth and UMass Boston, two teams that have a long history facing off in the postseason, two teams with big upsets in the semifinal on the road, but it's another Plymouth-UMass Boston matchup, and it's sure to be a spectacular showing here this afternoon.
Well, beginning of the season and preseason, this is what you're playing for, a chance to go to the NCAA tournament, right? So the culmination of a long season, ups and downs for both teams, and I'm excited for what should be a really thrilling chance for one of these teams to advance into the NCAA tournament.
We talk about tournament situations. We mentioned it before going on the air in our prep. It's usually a David and Goliath situation, and really, what's the storyline? Who's David, who's Goliath in this matchup?
Well, that's a really good question, Dan. There's arguments that both teams are the David and both teams are the Goliath. On one hand, you have Plymouth State enters 32-4, regular season co-champions, and match the program record for wins in a season. So, are they the Goliath? I don't know. Panthers scattered throughout the conference leaders. Francie Schaefer, kills and kills per set. Alicia Flanagan, digs and digs per set. Cara Beth Norkland in the top 5 for attack percentage. Emily Flanagan, Jaya Woodland leading in blocks per set, and Alexa Price leads the conference in assists per set. So this is a team that was picked 7th in the preseason poll. On the flip side, UMass Boston, an unusual 11-18 overall record. That's not typical of what you would expect out of that program. And just 5-3 in the LEC this season. The last time the Beacons lost more than one conference match in a season, way back in 2007. So is it possible that the Beacons are really the underdogs? I'm not sure. Let's look at something else. Postseason history.
Yes.
Plymouth State, only 1-5 in the championship game. They've lost each of their last 3 appearances, 2009, 2011, and 2016. Guess who they played all 3 years? This Beacons team, right? On the flip side, UMass Boston leads the LEC with 8 tournament titles up to today. Looking for number 9. They are 8-1 in the finals all time. They lost their first finals appearance in 2008. They have won 8 in a row. So they got to feel pretty good. Maybe they're the Goliath. I don't know.
It's going to be a toss-up here, but talking about the toss-up, home court advantage has been key. Plymouth State undefeated at home. We look at some of the stats for UMass Boston, home and away, and that's really where things stand out in the stats.
Absolutely. The Clark Athletic Center is a very difficult place for opposition to come in and play well for a number of reasons. One, it's an expansive facility. The area behind the service lines is huge, and that really affects opposition's depth percentage when it comes to serve-receive. As you know, serve-receive is so critical, ball control so important, especially when you have 2 teams that are fairly equally matched going head-to-head. You alluded to it. Plymouth State 16-0 at home this year. They set a new program record for most wins at home in a season. They're comfortable here. They know it. It's familiar, and they're going to have a huge crowd on hand today. Not a whole lot else going on around Panther Nation today, so I expect a huge student support showing for this match. On the flip side, UMass Boston is only 2-17 away from the Clark Athletic Center this year. 2-17. They're hitting .266 at home, .084 away from home. That's a significant difference. And when it comes to that nasty Beacon serving game, averaging more than 4 aces per set at home, less than 2 aces per set on the road. I do believe that lack of an expansive space behind the service line is going to help Plymouth State in their serve-receive game today.
Yeah, we're trying to take a look at UMass Boston warming up behind us right now, and we'll see how their serves go in this type facility. First time here this year, they've come up to Plymouth, but we look at that matchup earlier in this season. UMass Boston with a 3-0 victory over Plymouth State. Plymouth State, the only team they haven't beaten in the conference is the Beacons this year, and I know they have that chip on their shoulder that they want this win. It'll be the first title since 2004, as we talked about earlier. This is just, you can feel the tension already here in warm-ups.
Yeah, both of these teams are really excited to be here, obviously. Interesting story, I was chatting with Beacon's interim head coach, Kate Carlson, before the game. She and Coach Forge go way back. You may not know this, but Kate Carlson's in-laws own a lake house in the association that Coach Forge lives in. And so when Coach Forge was looking into making the transition from coaching at Guilford High School, where she had a long and storied career, to taking up the collegiate game, guess who she reached out to for advice? None other than interim head coach Kate Carlson. And it was Coach Carlson who actually encouraged her to step outside of her comfort zone and give the college game a try. That's turned out pretty well. Now, before the LEC tournament started, the two coaches, knowing that they were seated where they were and wouldn't meet until the finals, texting back and forth, made an agreement. We'll win today if you win today. And after the first round games, UMass Boston knocking off Keene State, the Panthers blanking Southern Maine here at home, they text each other, hey, is our deal still on? Yeah, absolutely. Then they go into the semifinals. They both pull off 5-set upsets.
Yeah, absolutely.
And text each other, hey, I'll see you on Saturday. So it's pretty interesting the way that's all come together.
Yeah, we talk about head coach Joan Forge, already 40-24 in her career, in the young career at Plymouth State, her illustrious career in high school at Guilford, and again, Guilford coming away with hopefully another championship tonight down at Pinkerton Academy. Carlson as well, a player for UMass Boston, graduated in 2010, so she's got a history as well in championship and postseason matches. And it's going to be fun to see the kind of duel they have with the kind of rotation changes and the adjustments they make during the match.
And it's also interesting, they're both alumnus of their programs, right? Kate Carlson, you already said, 2010 graduate. Joan Forge, 1977 graduate of Plymouth State, back when it was Plymouth State College. I would be remiss. I do want to give a shout out to head coach Mike Houlihan, who's been out all year with dealing with some medical issues, a medical leave of absence this season. Mike, I'm sure you're at home watching. We're all thinking of you, sending you the best, hoping to see you soon. My understanding is that he's hoping to be back on campus at UMass Boston in January, and we're really looking forward to seeing him back on the court again next fall. So best wishes to you, Mike, and we're all thinking about you.
So with that, and Coach, we wish you the best as well. Who's going to stand out for you in this matchup? We talked about the defensive specialists with Alicia Flanagan. We've seen Emily Flanagan move into different roles here into the playoffs, but also there's so much depth at the net and defensively for the Beacons. Who's standing out in your mind as your X factors?
Well, for UMass Boston, I think it comes down to two key hitters, Emilia Czapiewska and Sarah Doyle. And what's nice about where UMass Boston is right now, they are finally healthy. And they've been dealing with ongoing injury problems off and on throughout the entire season. They're healthy and they're playing some of their best volleyball at the most important time of the year. So those to me are keys for the Beacons. On the flip side, Plymouth State, everybody knows about Francie Schaefer. She leads the conference in kills. She's been a huge offensive weapon for Plymouth State. To me, I'm not going to single out one player for the Panthers though. What's really led to their success is a balanced attack. They've had contributions from the other outside hitter and senior Lex Bauer. Both of their middles, Cara Beth Norkland and the freshman Emily Flanagan, have contributed. And then, of course, on the right side, Jaya Woodland has been really dominant at the net blocking. So for them, I think it's going to have to be, can you all do it together? It's going to take a team effort for the Panthers to win here today. One single player is not going to lead them to victory.
And it's really what side controls their emotions the most and who can get out to that fast start in the first set that really looks like it's going to set up things here.
Absolutely.
We're going to step aside, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll get ready for the starting lineups and the start of this championship match. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Little East Conference Championships here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
There's a path that takes you further in life. A breakthrough way of learning that prepares you for an ever-changing world. At Plymouth State, you'll find your way and learn more about yourself. It starts with our bold new approach to learning, the first of its kind at any university in the country. We call it our integrated clusters approach. You choose your area of interest, then focus your degree by adding courses from any discipline, from any department. Think of it as education without limits. Imagine how you'll grow with a truly interdisciplinary degree program. Then imagine how well Clusters prepares you for the ever-changing world out there. Clusters gives you hands-on experience working with top companies and institutions. You'll be part of a progressive team, developing innovative solutions to real-world problems. Education becomes dynamic, at Plymouth State. Our faculty believe in you because collaboration works both in the classroom and beyond. You see faces up here, not crowds. Set in the foothills of the White Mountains of New Hampshire, there's genuine magic here. It's the way a university should be. Living in a vibrant community with a huge heart. Some degree programs even offer a 4+1 accelerated track, which lets you complete your master's degree in just 1 year. We see you, the doer every day, the innovator, the tomorrow changer. Find your own path at Plymouth State University. See further up here.
This is Sarah. She's your typical Plymouth State student, and she's tired of the same old routine. Let's see if we can help. It's a hot day in September. Let's get Sarah down to the river. Our large variety of canoes, kayaks, and paddleboards will keep you high and dry, but no promises. Let's fast forward to October. Crisp autumn air, beautiful views. But where's Sarah now? Sarah's rock climbing, 15 minutes from campus at Rumney Rocks. But what about in February? Rock or ice, we've got you covered. Looks like Sarah has a busy weekend. PSU students, all we need is your signature. All of our gear is free for you to use. Stop by our offices or find us online at go.plymouth.edu/outdoor center. Plymouth State Outdoor Center. Adventure your way.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
Welcome back, fans, here as we get ready to wrap up warm-ups in the start of this Little East Conference Championship match. And Chris, any final thoughts on both sides watching warm-ups here before we get going?
Well, watching both teams go through warm-ups, they both look really good. Of course, there's not a defending team on the other side, but hitting lines for both teams look pretty good. Energy seems really good on both sides. I'm really expecting a full-fledged onslaught battle back and forth. This should be a really fun game to watch between two very good teams.
Yeah, Plymouth State has already locked up the best record in program history despite the outcome here today. They enter 32-4 here in 2019. On the other side, UMass Boston only 11-18, but we talked about that earlier on in the pregame show. It's really that strength of schedule that set them up here for the postseason. It doesn't matter where you see it. It's a brand new season here in the postseason, and they're making full advantage of that.
Absolutely. I mean, once you get to your goal during the regular season is to get to the playoffs and give yourself a chance to win. Neither one of these teams is going to get an at-large berth to the NCAA tournament. Only one of these teams is going, and it's going to be the team that wins. You alluded to it just a second ago. Yes, UMass Boston, 7 games under 500 right now, but they've played their opponent's winning percentage 29th highest in the country, whereas Plymouth State's around 280 last check. So that's a significant impact and factor in why the Beacons don't have a huge win-loss record.
UMass Boston lost in the semifinals last year. They were defending champions in 17 and 16, trying to win it again today on the road inside Foley Gym. Plymouth State, one of 3 teams, as we mentioned, in the first round matchup to make every LEC postseason, but they're only looking for their second championship in program history. We'll find out what's going to happen. We're going to turn it downstairs to our public address announcer at Hunter Boyce as we get set for the starting lineup and national anthem.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Foley Gymnasium for the championship match of the 2019 Little East Conference Women's Volleyball Tournament, featuring the 4th-seeded Beacons of the University of Massachusetts Boston and the 3rd-seeded Panthers of Plymouth State University. At this time, let's meet the competitors for today's contest. First, the reserves for UMass Boston. Number 3, Bianca Coffee Tasusa. Number 4, Samantha Martinez. Number 5, Jill Francis. Number 7, Michaela Garati. Number 10, Brianna Henderson. Number 17, Lexi Consis. Number 18, Sydney Birch. Number 19, Taryn Brogel. Number 22, Kelsey Pereira. And number 23, Alex Cook. And now, the starters for the Beacons. A freshman from Athens, Greece, number 2, Alex Kiosa. A junior from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 6, Emilia Czapiewska. A junior from Worthington, Ohio, number 9, Carson Kaminsk. A junior from Mahwah, New Jersey, number 14, Tyler Parker. A senior from Glendale, California, number 15, Sarah Doyle. A sophomore from El Paso, Texas, number 21, Marcel Tiscarino. And a freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 24, Mallory Reed. The interim head coach of the Beacons in her first season is Kate Carlson. She is assisted by Keelan Severtson and Jaden Blanchfield. And now, the reserves for Plymouth State. Number 1, Hannah Chartier. Number 2, Brooke Bode. Number 3, Annie Heller. Number 7, Allie Rogers. Number 8, Katie Townsend. Number 9, Hannah Douglas. Number 13, Jasmine Attar. Number 21, Natalie Gravel. Number 23, Shannon Howland. And number 24, Maria Wimpy. And now, this starting lineup for the Panthers. A senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida, number 4, Lex Bowers. A freshman from Milton, New Hampshire, number 5, Emily Flanagan. A sophomore from Moultonboro, New Hampshire, number 11, Alexa Price. A junior from Goffstown, New Hampshire, number 12, Carabeth Norkland. A senior from Milton, New Hampshire, number 15, Alicia Flanagan. A sophomore from Charlottesville, Virginia, number 22, Shia Woodland. And a junior from Frederick, Colorado, number 25, Francie Schaefer. The head coach of the Panthers in her second season is Joni Forge. She is assisted by Bill Baudet, Catherine Labrie, and manager Tucker McIlrath. At this time, we ask you to join us as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
So there you have the starting lineups for both teams. The coaches will meet by the scoring table. And as you talked about the friendly relationship, give each other a hug. But it's go time. Chris, any final thoughts before we get the first serve?
Well, the coaches are friends leading up to the game, but first serve, they're going to be enemies for this one. And obviously, both teams, historic within the LEC, Beacons have won the title so many darn times. Plymouth State, I feel like, is due, don't you?
Absolutely. Again, 7th turn or championship appearance for Plymouth State. Only one title in 2004. Again, Plymouth State, last time they're in the championship was in 2011. Your first year head coach, or no, last time was 2016. Last time at home was 2011 against this Beacon side.
Yeah, that's right. We were lucky enough to beat UMass Boston in Boston during the regular season to earn the right to host. We finished tied with one loss at the top of the conference. So we earned that tiebreaker, but they came and took care of business in 3 here to deny me in my rookie season.
So teams are set. Plymouth State in their home white uniforms going left to right across your screen here in set number 1. The Beacons in their road blue going right to left. Plymouth State will have serve, and Foley Gymnasium is rocking for the championship game.
Yeah, great to see this turnout. So many fans here. I can see like 6 or 7 different athletic teams here as well. It's going to be fun.
But the match is on. First attack coming for the Beacons, dug out beautifully by Bowers, freely over by Price. Here come the Beacons' first attack. Czapiewska can't get that to one to fall. Bowers back line, and it's dug out again. Going to the outside. Schaefer from 10 feet away. Catches the back line, and Plymouth State's on the board.
Yeah, nice defense from senior Lex Bowers there. Czapiewska just kind of moving the ball around early on, trying to figure out what this Panthers defense is doing. And Bowers kind of controlled the back line, and then Schaefer able to find the open spot.
Talking about this one going long, as say Alexa Price now, that's only her 23rd service error this season, has 60 aces entering the championship match.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good ratio.
So a side out here, Tyler Parker, the junior, will serve, and it's a nice one at Emily Flanagan.
I like the serving choice going after the freshman middle hitter who's in serve receive.
Attack from deep, and this one goes long off the hands there of Kosei. Kosei, the Little East Conference Rookie of the Week for October 21st.
And it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for teams to kind of like get into the rhythm offensively. I don't think either one is really showing any signs of nerves in the early going, and that's a good sign for both teams.
Cummins, short set in the middle, and it catches the back line there for Doyle.
And that's a nice spot for that middle hitter, Doyle, to swing. Plymouth State tends to play a little bit more shallow out of the middle attacks, and so if you can hit those deep lines and deep corners, that's going to work well for Doyle.
Tied 2-2 here, set number 1, Sydney Birch, the senior from Boca Raton, Florida, checking in. She has 51 service aces on the season. Woodland sends this one long.
Yeah, Woodland was asking about a touch, but that was well over the hands of Doyle.
When you said it so many times, it seemed like she didn't get on top, get that rotation she needed.
Well, and that's a spot that Jaio doesn't swing out of the middle that often. It's really just out of the serve receive.
Baudet, a little confusion there, but makes the play on the receive. Bowers goes cross court for the kill.
Yeah, a nice spot there for Lex. Able to tuck it in just past Czapiewska. I'm pretty sure that serve was going to be long, but if you're going to play a serve that's long, you want to get that side out anyway, and that worked out well for the Panthers.
Kill number 314 on the season for Bowers. And this service error from Emily Flanagan goes wide on the far side. Roddy to serve. 33 aces this year. She had 8 kills against the Panthers in their earlier match this season. And just like that, it's back over to Plymouth State on the side out.
Yeah, both of these teams serve aggressively and serve well. So I think you're going to end up probably seeing a fair amount of missed serves today because you want them to be aggressive.
It's also, you talked about it during the pregame show, is the confines here of Plymouth really drops off the efficiency of the serves for the Beacons when they're on the road. This one's blocked down, and a point for Plymouth State.
Yeah, Northland doing a nice job staying with the setter Carson Kaminsk there to block her attack attempt. And yes, I agree. The lack of space behind the server here makes depth perception much easier than it is when you're playing at the Clark Athletic Center in Boston.
Hannah Chartier just in serving for the first time.
Of course, I say that, and D'Souza overpasses.
Near side feed. Czapiewska battle at the net. That's into the scorer's table, and a point to the Panthers.
I misspoke. That was Parker, not D'Souza, with the overpass. But nice block. Plymouth State looking good up in the front row. Strong at the net so far.
6-4 Plymouth State lead here early on, set number 1. Hannah Chartier got 14 aces on serves this year. Come in. Nice setup in the middle, but it'll go long. Tough one for the Beacons.
No, that was off the hands.
Correction, sorry, I missed it.
Off the hands of the block, and Brooke Baudet there in the middle back, kind of creeping. We talked about it already. They tend to creep up a little bit on those middle attacks. If she stays deep along that end line, she probably has to play at that ball.
So Sarah Doyle serving here right at Alicia Flanagan. Price comes back to play it. Norkland can't find in the middle of the front. This one from Doyle will get the kill.
A good spot, nice back row attack. You want to go corners and seams. Seams being the spot between two players in the back row, and she did a perfect shot there right between Flanagan and Baudet.
And just like that, we're tied at 6. Doyle going a little short on that serve here at Chartier. Punched over by Bowers.
Yeah, a little confusion on where Lex was going to go on that attack.
Great slide on the right side for Tescarino.
I expect this match is going to be a lot of up and down, a lot of momentum changes, and right now Beacons are on a little bit of a roll.
Doyle going for her 4th point on serve, and this one will go to Plymouth State on the carry.
Yeah, Bowers able to power it through the hands of the block and then called for the lift, trying to play that ball up.
So Francie Shaker will check back into the front line for Brooke Baudet. Alex Bowers to serve for Plymouth State. Beacons going to the attack on the outside with Queso, and that one will miss just outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Norkland and Price touched that ball or not. It looked like it was a lot of the net to me.
Right attacking at Parker on these serves are the Panthers. Queso will send it long again.
Kyose really kind of forced into being an outside this year due to injuries early on, and she's really kind of run with that opportunity, and here she is starting in the championship match.
Different attack coming for Garrity in the back line, going over to Schaefer after the dig. Good dig out the other way by the Beacon. Short set in the middle. Price is there to cover. And an attacking error there on Bowers.
A good up by Alexa Price, and a good decision by Alicia Flanagan not to try to force that ball to the outside hitter. She didn't execute it perfectly, and Lex Bowers ended up having to back up to play that ball over the net. You obviously would have got in front of her so she can run through it and into it.
Freshman and Mallory Reed checking back into the front line for UMass Boston. Free ball over on the receive from Chartier. Back set over to Reed.
Bullet of a serve at Chartier there.
Norkland partially blocked to the net. Beacons keep it alive. Kyose can't find the back line. Schaefer nearly got called for a carry. Rally continues. Going back to Schaefer, and it's dug out.
Go get it,
Free attack, and Panthers can't get it to fall. Schaefer off speed. Free ball over. Rally continues. Center attack, and it's Alexa Price for the kill.
And Alexa does that so well. She jumps up with both hands. It's natural for setters to go up with two hands and push the ball in front of them toward the middle of the court. She's done that a couple of times this playoffs, where she goes up with both hands, uses her right hand to push it behind the block, and that's worked, I think, 3 or 4 times now in the playoffs.
Plymouth State with a 10-8 lead. As Bowers sends this long.
You'd like to see a little more confident swing in that down ball from Lex Bowers. I was kind of not really sure if I want to hit it hard or not, and those never work out well.
Yeah, Bowers early this year hitting well over 200, entering this afternoon hitting only 169.
Yeah, Lex had a little bit of a slump in the middle of the season. She's come on in the playoffs. She had a really nice game in the semifinal match against EastCon with 16 kills. So you want to see her playing well here, obviously, at the end of the season, but she did have a little bit of a slump.
Emily Flanagan on the attacking error there on the outside into the net. Again, two-time LEC Rookie of the Week is Flanagan. She's 4th in the LEC in blocks per set at .80. Schaefer from 10 feet away. There's Parker in the setup. It's a free ball over.
Yeah, rare free ball opportunity for Plymouth State. You want them to take advantage, and they do. Going to Emily Flanagan in the middle, right off the block into the antenna for the point.
Good work by Plymouth State as Jaya Woodland will come in for Hannah Chartier, and you got the Twin Towers out there to block.
Yeah, this is the best rotation for Plymouth State. This is how they started. You have your best server back there in Alexa Price, and your two biggest blockers in Emily Flanagan and Jaya Woodland.
Parker to Kaminsk. And a great kill. Czapiewska gets the point.
And that's what UMass Boston is going to do to try to counter the fact that the Plymouth State front line is so big. You saw on that play Czapiewska coming into the middle a little bit, trying to create some opening spaces, make those blockers move around.
Czapiewska, the D1 transfer from South Dakota State after the 2016 season. And a point to the Panthers here.
Woodland able to tip it just out of the reach of the block of Sarah Doyle.
So Brooke Baudet will come back in for Schaefer and serve. Baudet, native of Guilford, New Hampshire. Kaminsk, short set, and that's off the block and a point to the Beacons.
I was just going to say, Brooke Baudet's played her entire career for Coach Joan Forge.
It also helps when you have your father as an assistant to kind of keep you in line as well.
I suppose that could be good or bad, depending on how that relationship is.
Talking about Plymouth State assistant coach Bill Baudet as this serves goes long by the Beacons. But that's just a dynamic duo. Bill Baudet and Joan Forge, they go back decades.
They've been doing it and being successful for a long, long time.
Emily Flanagan serving, and she'll get the ace.
A great serve right to the deep corner. Kiyose wasn't quite able to adjust her platform well enough. It kind of rose on her at the end and unable to control the ball. Plymouth State with a slight 14-12 lead, but this is what we expected. This should be close all the way throughout.
Little punch in the middle. Price on the dig, going over. Jaya Woodland on the right side, and it's blocked down. Great work by Sarah Doyle.
Yeah, Doyle and Czapiewska, kind of the UMass Boston version of Woodland and Emily Flanagan for the Panthers. They put up a pretty darn good block themselves.
Yeah, Sarah Doyle, 7 kills, 4 blocks against Plymouth State earlier this season. Again, that was back on October 9th, and that 3-0 win for UMass Boston over the Panthers, and a big swing and a kill for the Panthers on the outside.
And if memory serves, Czapiewska was unavailable at that time. I believe she was out for injury, so a little bit of a different look for the Beacons here today.
Lex Bowers there on that big swing. Hannah Chartier into serve. Panthers still with that 2-point lead, 15-13. Here's set number 1. Going near side, Kiyose off the hands defensively of Plymouth State for the point.
And that's a rare misplay for Alicia Flanagan. You can kind of see a look on her face. She's a little bit frustrated, said my bad. She's usually really good at keeping her platform pointed back to target as she runs through those balls, and that time she just took her eye off it just enough where it went out of play.
Kiyose with her first kill of the match. Setting up Norkland outside, big dig, but it's a free over. Panthers trying to capitalize, going back to Norkland and another block.
Yeah, go right back to her. I like that decision, and a smart play by Alexa Price to push that ball over.
Doyle will get underneath this one and send it long, and a point to Plymouth State.
Lots of times in those block coverage, setter pushes the ball over quickly. You can kind of steal a point in the deep corner. Michaela Garrity, a great job running that ball down in the corner, but the attack went long.
Lex Bowers serving. It's a nice one to the middle of the back line. On the slide there, there's Terracenia. That's close one there to Tescarino, easy for me to say. Working well on that slide to the opposite.
Yeah, nice run, swinging cross court on that one. Hannah Chartier not quite able to control the dig, and Alexa Price just trying to push the ball back over, ended up hitting it wide.
Kaminsk with the ace. Her 48th ace of the season.
Yeah, and if I'm Carson Kaminsk, I'm going right back at Hannah Chartier again here.
Tied at 16, that's exactly where it goes. Price, Schaefer, but a whistle on the double contact there on the set from Price.
Yeah, and a good call. Alexa was, the pass was about 10-foot line. Alexa was a little slow getting her feet there, and her just didn't have a nice clean contact on the ball. I'm continuing to serve at Hannah Chartier, though. She seems to be struggling a little bit in serve-receive.
Close to the net. Set up for Northland. Dug out beautifully by Kennedy.
And that was a nice pass by Hannah.
Going again. Northland blocked down. Going over to Schaefer. That one's tipped at the net. We have a whistle here. And there's a net violation on the Beacons. Believe it was on Reed, number 24.
Yeah, that was the sign. I didn't see her contact the net, but I took my eye off the net too. So that's why they have an R2 down there watching that.
17 all, set number 1 here in the Little East Conference Championship match. Commence with a back line set. Price for Schaefer, she's blocked down.
Yeah, huge block there. Schaefer, a possibility for Offensive Player of the Year here for the Panthers, but a huge block by Reed and Tiscareño out there kind of shutting her down and giving the Beacons here a 1-point lead.
Beacons 1.70 blocks per set in conference play this season. Again, tacking Hannah Chartier. Panthers keep it alive though. So you wonder if a change is coming there and a missed time on the set by UMass Boston.
Right now, head coach Joan Forge, knowing that she was going to rotate out here, I can guarantee you, knowing the way Coach Forge is, high 10, and hey, you got this, settle down. Luckily it worked out for Plymouth State. The miscommunication on the Beacon side there results in an 18-18 score. But, Hannah Chartier just needs to settle down a little bit. She'll be fine. She just needs to kind of get that confidence back.
This one blocked down, but it's going to land on Plymouth State's side. Good work for Czapiewska.
Yeah, just pounding it right through that block. Woodland and Northland were there. They just got to really get those hands over and stay strong.
Czapiewska, the native of St. Paul, Minnesota, the junior here, listed at 6 feet. Doing well on the outside. And an ace and a miscommunication by Plymouth State with Bowers and Flanagan.
I think Emily thought that ball was going to be long. It was about waist high, or between waist and shoulder height when it got to her. It just really dove at the end, and she kind of gave up on it. You'd like to see her follow that ball to the end line to be sure.
Parker going to go right back at Emily Flanagan. It's going to be set for her, and she'll push it to the back corner. Good coverage from behind with Parker and Czapiewska. Emily Flanagan dug out, but it's a free over. Here goes Schaefer. She's blocked down.
Both teams blocking well here, Beacons especially.
And it's Chaya Woodland for the kill.
Plymouth State doing a really great job on their block coverage, keeping those balls alive and giving themselves multiple opportunities for the point.
Great net battles here so far. Beacons lead 20-19, getting late in set number 1. Baudet serving. It's to the back line at Czapiewska. Big swing and a big dig, and it's going to be out of play as it's Price into the net, but Czapiewska coming up strong here on the outside.
Yeah, nice hard shot cross court right at the libero, and Alicia Flanagan just couldn't quite handle it.
So a side out, Beacons 4 points away from taking set number 1 here in the championship match. Birch serving. Panthers going over to Bowers, and it's off of Parker and over the net.
What a big swing. Sometimes being in the right spot is better than being good. Parker's both, but she got a little bit lucky on that ball, I think.
Fantastic defense, both sides. Riley continues. Czapiewska from deep, and it's going to be a kill off the hands of Flanagan.
Yeah, look for a timeout here from Coach Forge.
And it looks like that will be the case, so we'll have a timeout on the court. We'll take a timeout as well here in set number 1. It's UMass Boston 22, Plymouth State 19. You're watching the championship match here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge.
For all the latest news, statistics, and results across the Little East Conference, be sure to visit www.littleeast.com.
Back here inside Foley Gymnasium, towards the end of set number 1 between the 3rd-seeded Panthers, 4th-seeded Beacons. Dan Salzer alongside Chris Kilmer, as always, bringing you complete coverage of this championship match.
Good time for a timeout there from Coach Forge. You could see a little bit of frustration kind of sinking in, especially on libero Alicia Flanagan. She is really tough on herself as a player. She expects to be perfect. So a chance to just kind of like let her reset. This set is not out of reach by any stretch.
And they're going to say that lands down the cross-court attack. I thought it might have been tipped at the net. It was close.
You know, I think it was just inside the blocker's hands. And Lex looking for that hard angle shot, just missed it a little bit long.
So the magic number is 2 here in the set. Birch with a service error and a big side out for Plymouth State. So Norkland will come in for Alicia Flanagan as Emily Flanagan goes back to serve. Panthers trail by 3, and it's given right back over, and it's set point UMass Boston.
Yeah, that's a tough time to miss a serve there right at the end of the set, knowing that you're going to now need to fight off 4 set points in order to win this first set.
Kayla Garrity now serving, the freshman, trying to give her team a 1-0 lead. Right at Baudet. Middle set for Norkland, and it's dug out on the back line. Middle attack, good reach by Baudet. Tapped, play continues.
That actually worked out well for Plymouth State.
And they'll get the kill on the outside with Woodward.
Baudet with the dig, and it was really close to the net. Alexa Price is a back row player, so she can't attack above the plane of the net. She was able to push it into the block, and the block wasn't strong enough. It ended up almost being a free ball for the Panthers, who took advantage.
Still set point for the Beacons, 24-21. Chartier serving. Floats this over at Parker. Kaminsk, short set, a dangerous one. Beacons keep it alive. Blocked down on the right side by Norkland.
Yeah, tough ball there for Kiyose. That was tight right on the net, and with Alexa Price and Carrie Beth Norkland putting up a very good block, she didn't really have anywhere to go.
And a timeout taken by the Beacons. Both teams with 1 remaining. We'll step aside one more time here. Beacons trying to close out set number 1.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Back here out of the Beacons timeout, and the Panther faithful getting fired up with the bleachers on the far side. Looks like the men's basketball team.
Yeah, Panthers getting ready for their season opener later this afternoon. Their game was actually supposed to be earlier and had to get moved because of this championship game. They were more than happy to accommodate that, though.
A 2-hour move from a 2 p.m. to a 4 p.m. start against New England College here inside Foley Gymnasium, and a nice little warm-up for them here and support their teammates and classmates.
Yeah, Coach Forge was laughing with some of the guys this morning. She said, "We'll warm the gym up for you guys." Smart timeout there by Coach Kate Carlson, though. You don't want it to get to a 1-point game and then take the timeout. Give yourselves a couple opportunities to win, and that's exactly what they do on the slide there from Doyle to take the first set.
There it is, Sarah Doyle getting another kill here this set. So it's UMass Boston taking it 25-22. We'll step aside and get you ready for set number 2 here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, and I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Studying in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's going to become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Welcome back, fans, here to Foley Gymnasium on the campus of Plymouth State University as we get ready for set number 2. Chris, let's look at some of the stats from the opening set in that 25-22 thriller.
Yeah, really good defensive battle. Neither team really getting into a rhythm offensively. UMass Boston hit just 0.88 in the first set, while Plymouth State just 0.23. Sarah Doyle leading the way with 5 kills for the Beacons. Panthers 3 from Lex Bowers and 3 from Jaya Woodland. Both teams siding out well. Beacons at 69%. They sided out 16 out of 23 opportunities. Plymouth State is 62. You'd like to see that number around 60, above 60% if you can be there. So 62 and 69 are very good side out percentages. I think what we expected to see, a tight match back and forth, 12 ties, 5 lead changes, competitive all the way through. The question is going to be which team is going to be able to make that little push at the end to close out and win a set. And you saw UMass Boston was able to do that in set number 1.
And it really just felt that the Beacons were able to settle down on those final kind of 10, 15 points, that second half of that first set, where Plymouth State just struggled on the serve receive for most of that first set.
Yeah, there were definitely stretches. You see Hannah Chartier is on the floor, so Coach Ford sticking with her here to start the second set. If I'm UMass Boston, I'm telling Kyosei to go right after her too, though. She's been struggling, and see if you can steal a couple early points because of not great ball control.
Kyosei, so far this afternoon, 2 kills, but does have 5 errors. Again, does go right at Hannah Chartier on the serve to start the second set. As this one will be off the hands of Plymouth State, and a point to the Beacons.
Nice job by Czapiewska, hitting high, knowing that she's got a big block out there, just using the block for the point.
Love the energy coming from the Beacons bench right now.
Yeah, they're fired up. They should be. It's a championship match.
Kyosei with a nice jump serve again, and this one just goes long by maybe 3 inches.
Yeah, continuing to go after Hannah Chartier, so we'll see if she's able to turn things around here in set number 2, have a little bit better ball control, if they're going to make a change, put somebody else in there for serve receive, or just take her out of the passing, which is certainly an option. The Panthers have enough people with ball control skills where she doesn't necessarily need to be a primary passer.
As Czapiewska's blocked down, rally continues though. The Beacons will get it over. Price, Schaefer on the outside, down the line, and will get the kill off the hands of Kaminsk.
Yeah, Kaminsk and Kyosei both kind of going. That's a great spot, a little bit of a seam action. Kaminsk got a hand on it, ended up taking it away from Kyosei for a Panthers point.
No team has led more than 3 points. That was a 3-point win in the first set for the Beacons. A big block down. That one's gonna fall. Tescarino doing well on the right side.
Great coverage there by Kyosei. It looked like Plymouth State had the point on that big block, but Kyosei able to keep it alive, and then Tescarino, using the block of Francie Schaefer for the point.
Price back set right side for Schaefer. She'll just have to punch it over. Kaminsk, middle set. And not a lot on it from Doyle. There goes Woodland, but she'll send it long.
Yeah, Plymouth State, a little bit of, not a great set from Alexa Price. A tough ball for Francie Schaefer. She just had to punch it over. And then as they were trying to get set, she ran into 2 different Panthers on the front line. Didn't give Plymouth State a chance to get their block set.
Parker on the serve, reaching for it. One-handed is Price to get that one up, and a free ball over. Czapiewska off the block for the kill.
Plymouth State a little bit out of sync here in the early going. They got to get that block fixed. Czapiewska really just kind of using it over and over again in the early stages of set number 2. And the Panthers' ball control not up to snuff right here.
Good work by Flanagan. A whistle here and a point to the Beacons on double contact.
Yeah, and that all starts with the pass. The pass wasn't great, and that led to Alexa Price being really close to the net, trying to stay out of the net. She just mishandled the ball.
So 5-2 lead here for UMass Boston, ties the biggest lead of the afternoon.
And if they get another point or two, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Forge burn an early timeout just to get things under control before this set starts to slip away.
Czapiewska unloads on the outside. And a point to UMass Boston.
Yeah, Beacon showing that they belong here. Like we talked about it, the overall record isn't impressive, but the strength of schedule is, and the reason you play such a challenging schedule is so when you get to moments like this, you know that you can do it.
Francie Schaefer blocked down, huge push up towards the ceiling, tapped over by Alicia Flanagan. Doyle reaching back, dug out by Flanagan, center attack, and it falls for Price.
Yeah, Price, that was more out of necessity than desire. She didn't really have much she could do with that up. Just pushed it into the corner, and Kyosei wasn't quite able to run that one down. Kyosei's been really good in the back row so far, but that one was just out of her reach.
Kept alive, and it's not going to get over though, so good work on serves by Plymouth State and Brooke Baudet.
Yeah, I apologize, I just jinxed her. I told her she's been doing well in the back row. Announcer's jinx, she goes and misplays that serve.
Kaminsk, back set for Reed. Panthers keeping it going, but it's going to hit the back wall, and a kill for Reed.
Nice hustle play for Alicia Flanagan. She gets up, but she still has that frustrated look on her face. You want to, she's a senior, she's a captain, she's a libero. You want her to have that confident look, so everybody looks to her and saying, she gives off that, hey, we've got this kind of vibe. Right now, she doesn't feel that. You can tell that she's getting frustrated with herself.
Sydney Birch will serve at Baudet. Price, and a miscommunication there on the set. Was looking like he was trying to set up Jaya Woodland in the middle.
No, I think she was going right side to Emily Flanagan out of the serve receive, and it ended up being too tight. Emily couldn't reach it.
So back to a 4-point lead for UMass Boston, 8-4. And a service error here on Birch and a side out for the Panthers.
And right now, it feels like the momentum is all on the side of the Beacons. It feels like everything's going their way. It's only a 3-point game, and I think that's one of the things that Plymouth State coaches need to keep reminding their athletes. Hey, we can overcome a 3-point deficit.
Czapiewska is really getting hot on that outside down the line for the kill.
Exactly, and see, that's what you remember as a player, kills like that. And so you start to get frustrated because you're seeing big kills, your block's not doing its job, your ball control's not great. Those are plays where the mental game really comes in. As a coaching staff, just say, hey, look, it's 4 points. We just make a couple minor adjustments and we're fine.
And an ace here.
Now Garrity going after the seam, a great serve.
You look at Czapiewska. She's got 7 kills so far this afternoon. Short set and miscommunication. The Panthers got to call a timeout.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They just look all sorts of out of sync right now. A little bit of frustration settling in. Beacon's feeling really good. You're kind of rolling with the momentum, and they're going to try to build up this lead as much as they can because you know that Plymouth State's never really out of a set.
So timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout as well with the Beacons leading by 6, 11-5 here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
Biederman's Deli is a Plymouth tradition when it comes to dining. Located at 83 Main Street in Plymouth, New Hampshire since 1973, Biederman's has been serving PSU student athletes for over 25 years. With over 26 draft beers on tap, including many local brews, you'll be sure to find the perfect beverage to go with your meal. Famously known for the Balboa sandwich, Biederman's proudly serves only the finest boar's head cold cuts on all of their sandwiches. Biederman's Deli is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Be sure to stop in and pick up a delicious sandwich today.
Fans, are you looking for the latest Little East Conference gear? Check out the LEC store at littleeaststore.com. Find t-shirts, hoodies, backpacks, polos, and all the official championship apparel, all at littleeaststore.com.
So back here at a really smart timeout taken by Joan Forge, trying to slow the momentum down here of the Beacons, but We look at UMass Boston already hitting 600 early on in this set.
Yeah, the Beacons offense has really come alive. Both teams, like we said, struggled to get things going offensively in the first set, partly because of the blocking, partly because of the defense. But UMass Boston's been kind of clicking on all cylinders in the early going here.
Speaking of defense right there, good effort. And that one's going to be 4 touches on the Beacons side, but heck of a rally defensively for the Beacons to try to keep it going.
Oh yeah, they're not going to give up on any ball.
So Hannah Chartier will check back in, and I'll have you have the fun moment of she's from where, New Hampshire?
Where? That joke never gets old.
It won't, and it always catches me off guard when you throw it out there. Played for Jarn Stark Regional. Right side attack, and kept alive by the Panthers. Good attack from Doyle. Parker.
Yeah, watch Doyle coming on the slide.
Convinced, yep, there's a slide again. It's off the block. Panthers keep the rally going. Price can only push it over. Kiyose, touched over by Norkley. Good reflexes. Center attack, and it's Kaminski in the middle.
Smart play by Kaminski. Panthers a little bit running all over the place, kind of unsettled defensively. Those are the best times for a setter to attack.
12-6 lead. Ties the biggest of the afternoon at 6 points.
Lex Bowers retying her shoe, kind of like a little extra timeout just to catch your breath. The retying of shoes and the wiping of sweat off the floor. The little nuances that the players use to kind of reset themselves.
Kiyose on the attack, but in the antenna and a point to the Panthers. Francie Schaefer, the junior, outside and middle from Frederick, Colorado, checking in, and a service error here on the Panthers and Lex Bowers.
Yeah, I'm not even sure Francie's been in the middle at all this year. She was in the middle the last 2 years, but with the addition of Emily Flanagan and then Natalie Gravel's been in the middle a little bit as well. That allowed her to go outside where I think she's actually better suited. We would have used her there her freshman and sophomore years, but we put her in the middle out of necessity.
And it's Norklin gets the kill off the hands of Kiyose. Norklin entered this afternoon with 300 kills on the year. She's got 2 so far in this match. Kaminski, free attack! And a point here for the Beacons with Flanagan reaching over the net.
Yeah, it was a good call. The ball was definitely had not broken the plane yet. Panther crowd, I don't think understands the rule. That's not surprising. A little bit of frustration from the Panther side. They thought they had a point.
Yeah, the hands going up of why do you call that? But even from our vantage point, just a little bit off-centered to the left of your camera. Clearly broke the plane with her hand. Big a swing though. Chartier gets a palm on it. Panthers keep the rally going. Free over from Flanagan. Czapiewska can't find the back corner. Going over to Schaefer, and she'll get this sent long.
Yeah, I'd like to see Plymouth State kind of change up their offense a little bit. They're doing, especially right now with the front row setter, they've been running Emily Flanagan in the front, just on a quick ball, and Francie Schaefer outside. I'd like to see them move them around. Run Emily on a slide, bring Francie into the middle, do something different.
Going back to Schaefer, and good defense by the Beacons to get it over. Here comes Price, center attack, and she'll slam it in the middle.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. You run Flanagan on that slide, that opens up things a little bit. The middle block starts to slide with her, and Price is able to push the ball down to the middle of the floor.
Allie Rogers, the senior for Plymouth State. The right side from Sandown, New Hampshire, checking in for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, and Allie was the one of the tri-captains for the Panthers. She was the starting right side at the beginning of the year, and had to come out, miss some time with a sprained thumb. And Jaya Woodland really just kind of took over that spot. He came in and was dominant when Allie was healthy. Jaya was playing so well. Coach Forge just kept her in there, but trying to change things up, looking for maybe a change in the block, knowing that the outsides for UMass Boston have had their way with Jai up there so far in set number 2.
Kyose kept it going. It might have gone long in the attack. Here comes Rogers, blocked down, but Price is able to back her up. And a miscommunication by Plymouth State, and a little bit of frustration on the court by the Panthers.
Yeah, big frustration on the court. You saw the way Alicia Flanagan fired that ball over to the ball person, and Coach Joan Ford stood up and immediately started putting her arms, settle down, settle down, settle down, seeing that this is starting to slip away here in set number 2.
Price back set for Schaefer, and she'll get the kill off the block attempt on the outside off of Czapiewska.
Big side out there for the Panthers. Baudet's a good server. She can go on runs. She's gone on long service runs throughout this season.
She'll attack Kyose. As Czapiewska on the attack misses just outside the line.
Yeah, nice swing. If she puts that maybe a couple inches more toward the line, that's in, because there was no way that Alexa Price was going to dig that ball.
Brooke Baudet pulls her team to within 5. A beautiful serve that barely skimmed the top of the net. Here's Reed on the attack on the opposite side. It's Bowers blocked down. Good reach from Alicia Flanagan.
A great cover by Flanagan there.
Emily Flanagan's blocked down by Doyle. Doyle's second block here this afternoon. She's got 84 on the season.
UMass Boston has been really strong at the net here in set number 2. I mean, they blocked well in the first set and the Panthers covered, but they've made a couple of adjustments where they're blocking the ball downwards more as opposed to deeper in the court, and those are much harder for a block coverage team to pick up.
This attack from Allie Rogers looked like it was into the net. Either way, it was going to be a point for the Beacons, and the Panthers are forced to take their second timeout here in set number 2. We'll step aside one more time. It's the Beacons 18, the Panthers 11 here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Welcome back, fans, inside Foley Gymnasium. And Chris, a couple of seconds left here in the second Panthers timeout. And really, what does Plymouth State need to do to get back into this second set?
Well, they need to start doing the little things to build up some confidence. The easiest thing you can do is just control that first ball better, get your offense back going so you're running multiple options. Right now, they've gotten kind of vanilla with their offense. Everything is the same thing over and over and over again. You're not going to fool anybody, especially a team as talented across the front as this Beacons team. And you've seen the way that that's played out. Their block is really just sitting on every Panther hitter, and they've made the adjustment with the block where they're getting points off the block as opposed to just preventing the ball from coming over the net. So you want to see those small adjustments, better serve receive, but I think the biggest thing for Plymouth State is you guys got to relax out there. Everybody looks really tense, tight, and really frustrated. Nobody plays well like that.
Good reactions there from the Panthers to get it over, but it's Doyle on the right side for that kill. And we look at it, the numbers have come down naturally as the set continues on, but UMass Boston still hitting 227 here towards the latter part of this set. Rogers, Baudet will just have to send it over from deep. Kaminsk for Czapiewska will send it long, trying to attack the near corner.
Yeah, and the change in the Beacons offense is twofold. Part of it is because they've been serving so aggressively, Plymouth State hasn't been able to attack as much, so they've been getting a lot of free balls and been able to convert that. The other thing is they've made some adjustments offensively, moved some players around. They're continuing to run this slide here for Doyle that's worked over and over again. And that front line with Doyle and Czapiewska next to each other has been very successful here in set number 2.
We look at it, Plymouth State, over the course of this season's averaged just over 12.5 kills per set. They had 9 in the first, only 6 so far here in the second.
And that's a testament to the Beacons defense, the block up front and then the patrolling of the backcourt.
Setting up for Rogers, she'll just tap this over. Good coverage with Parker towards the net. And that one's gonna hit the sticks there on Rogers, and a point to UMass Boston.
And it's a tough spot for Allie, right? She's been sitting on the bench, a very back and forth, exciting first set, and comes into the middle of set number 2. She's probably not warm anymore. Warm-ups was a while ago, and she's being asked to do a lot right off the bat.
Going back, Lex Bowers attacking Parker. Parker able to dig it out. Czapiewska has it partially blocked at the net. Panthers keep the rally going as it's Rogers finding the empty corner just on the far side of the court.
And now you're also seeing the difference between Allie and Jaya. Allie is left-handed. Jaya's a right-handed right side. And so Alexa Price now needs to make that adjustment because she's setting those right side balls too far out for a left-handed hitter. Luckily for the Panthers, Allie Rogers was able to tip that ball in with her right.
Kaminsk setting for Czapiewska, and she unloads once again for the kill.
Good hard swing right down the line, and Hannah Chartier unable to control that ball.
Back up to the largest lead this afternoon for the Beacons at 9, 22-13. And a service error here, and a side out that the Panthers desperately needed.
Yeah, Plymouth State, it's starting to get late here in set number 2, so you're going to need to start chipping away, 3, 4, 5-point runs here to make this set competitive. But keep in mind, UMass Boston in the semifinal did have a 2-0 lead on WestCon, and the Colonials came right back with set 3 and 4, and it looked like that ball hit the antenna.
That's what the Panther bench jumped up in anger to make sure they got that call there, you're right. But it was also in that 5th set, WestCon with an advantage in that mid part of that 5th set, but the Beacons stormed back.
Absolutely, yeah. The Colonials had a 10-6 lead there in the 5th set, and UMass Boston rallied for the 15-13 win. Just an instant classic right there. And this entire Little East Conference tournament has been great from beginning to end. One of the things that I was talking about with the commissioner, Pam Samuelson, before the game was just the parity in this league is so good now and is so competitive from top to bottom, and you love to see that as a conference.
Beacons will get the point here as a setter attack from Price misses on the near corner. We saw Tescareno making that great slide, and it just seems as though Plymouth State might need to think about getting Hannah Chartier out of this match. The Beacons just have been attacking her left and right.
Yeah, you called it right there. The serve goes right after her. She can't control it for the ace to wrap up the 25-15 win in set 2 for the Beacons. So yes, you need to make some adjustments here if you're Plymouth State, if you want to extend your season.
We'll step aside. Panthers down to their final set in the season. Beacons trying to pull off another upset. We'll find out if they can cap off this incredible run of the postseason. Stay tuned. You're watching the Little East Conference Championship match here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
So back here inside Foley Gymnasium, we head to the 3rd set. Beacons lead 2-0 overall. And really, we look at some of the stats, and it's only been going down for Plymouth State here, Chris.
Yeah, the Panthers didn't hit super well there in the first set, 0-23. They were actually negative here in set number 2, negative 0-33, while the Beacons offense really started to click, 241 for the set. And that was really highlighted by Emilia Czapiewska and Sarah Doyle with some really impressive swings. Czapiewska now up to 7 kills for the match. Doyle matching her with 7 kills as well. And it'll be really important here to see, I think, a good start for Plymouth State. You need to win this set. You can't think of the fact that you're down 0-2. You just need to focus on the plays that are right in front of you. But obviously the pressure continues to build and build and build as this third set goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So if you're a fan of Panther Nation, you want to see this team relaxed, comfortable, couple points early on, start to build that confidence back up, remind yourself that you are a pretty darn good team. You don't win 32 games by mistake, no matter how hard your schedule is.
And an ace right off the bat for Alexa Price to start the third set. And that's got Panther Nation fired up on the far side of the court.
Yeah, well, after that second set, the fans here didn't have a whole lot to cheer about. UMass Boston really kind of ran away with that one. So, that's a good thing, too, to get the crowd back into this game.
Czapiewska trying to answer back, but it will go long, and Plymouth State with a 2-0 lead. But we look at the short history in our time kind of running the athletic communications office, and it seems as though Plymouth State at times to the Beacons has been UMass Boston North.
It really, the Beacons have never struggled playing up here, no matter what sport. Come up here and they've won a couple of softball championships at D&M Park. They beat me when I was here in 2011, and there are certainly times where whatever the sport is, their overall record doesn't look all that impressive, and then all of a sudden, come tournament time, the Beacons really know how to turn it on.
Good hustle from Flanagan. Schaefer's got to make the net, and it will land on the Panthers' side, but still love the absolute hustle defensively by Plymouth State here throughout the match.
Yeah, you absolutely need to be running through that wall just like Francie Schaefer did. If you're not, then you're showing your team that you don't think you can score that point and you don't think you can win this set.
Panthers with a 3-1 lead here, and an ace coming for the Beacons. It's Czapiewska.
Yeah, serving a bullet right at freshman Emily Flanagan. I think this is the biggest difference that you've seen between the two teams. Plymouth State hasn't served particularly well, but also not bad. They're not missing a ton of serves. They're just not serving as aggressively. UMass Boston really just firing bullets right at the Panthers passers and forcing them out of system a lot.
Middle attack there coming. Cortez Carreño, it's blocked down. Price on this next attack digs it out. Emily Flanagan from the middle will push it to the far back corner. Parker going back over with Czapiewska. Set her attack down the line, and Price gets it.
Yeah, good court awareness there by Alexa Price. Took a quick peek, saw the open corner, and just threw it over there.
We've talked about it all season long on the home broadcast for the Panthers. It's something that Alexa Price essentially looks for first before setting her hitters.
She's a very offensive-minded setter.
Back set, going for Reed. Now it's Lex Bowers, blocked down, dug out, but it will land out of bounds.
UMass Boston just doing a really nice job getting in front of squaring up on those Panthers hitters. And that's why it's important to have that wrinkle in your offense. You can't just keep going to the same thing over and over again.
Bodin the receive. Price back set for Rogers. She'll get the kill off the hands of Czapiewska. When we look at Czapiewska, you talked about it coming in to start the third set. Her 7 kills tonight entering this third set. And she's had an outstanding tournament, kind of already flirting with that. If the Beacons pull off this upset win in the championship, could be the most outstanding player.
She really has had a great, she's had a great season, but certainly a really good LEC tournament.
Price. Little short there for Bowers, but it doesn't matter. She'll get the kill off of Parker.
Yeah, just a little bit of confusion there. I think Parker expected Czapiewska to play that ball, and I think that Emilia was thinking about playing that ball. She kind of put her arm out a little bit and then pulled it back, knowing that Parker was there, and that was just enough.
And just missing the corner is Emily Flanagan. So Sydney Birch will sub in for Mallory Reed, and now she'll serve. Panthers lead by 2. They had 3 points to start here in the third set. Reaching for it, Norclin in the middle.
And I like that. It wasn't just a straight up middle ball, a little bit of a gap set of 31, keeping Karabeth at that first tempo, but changing the distance from the setter. Set was a little bit high, but Norclin did a nice job being able to extend and reach it, and then push it right down to the middle of the court.
Hannah Chartier serving. No service aces so far. She has 14 on the year. And as I say that, she'll get one here.
Is that the commentator reverse jinx? I've never seen that before.
I'll take it. It seems to have worked both ways here this afternoon. Chartier has the biggest lead for the Panthers this afternoon at 4 back-to-back aces for the Panthers.
And for Panther Nation watching at home, they're asking, Dan, why didn't you do that 2 sets ago?
Well, we'll see if the Panthers can continue. The Beacons are calling a timeout to try to slow the momentum. Plymouth State with their biggest lead at 5 will step aside for a commercial break. It's Plymouth State 9, UMass Boston 4 here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
So back here out of the first timeout taken by the Beacons, Plymouth State with their largest lead of the afternoon at 5, trying to keep their season alive here in the championship match. And Chris, looking at the Beacons, it's the sloppiest they've looked, so to speak, and really what can they change here to get back into us?
Just kind of do what you've been doing. Get that first contact back. A couple of aces in a row for Hannah Chartier, so that has contributed, obviously, to the Plymouth State start. And another really great serve there. It just died when it hit the net. Absolutely dropped right in front of Parker. So that aggressive serving certainly helps for Plymouth State. So for the Beacons, it's getting that first contact back where you can get back into system.
Hannah Chartier with 3 aces here on her serves. Czapiewska is trying to stop the bleeding and will get the kill on the outside.
Yeah, nice smart swing, not overpowering, just enough speed on it where Brookwood couldn't control it, but also a really good control putting it where she wanted to right down the line.
No matter how this one ends, fans, stay tuned. Immediately following here on the broadcast, we'll have complete coverage of the championship ceremony as a service error here in the Beacons and a side out for the Panthers. We'll also talk with head coach and at least one of the players, most likely the most outstanding player in the post-game interviews. Doyle blocked down, good reach for Garrity. Setter attack, Panthers are ready. Price trying to do a setter attack again, and both teams trying to really work well in the second touches as a big kill for UMass Boston.
Yeah, Kyose, nice job going around the block and still finding that corner. That's just a little adjustment that the Plymouth State defense needs to make. It's not a change in the block now. It looks like block is nice and closed. It's a change on the floor defense, making sure that you're not stuck behind the block where they can't hit the ball.
From deep, and a tough set there from Price. Schaefer will send it long. And here come the Beacons, trying to sweep here in the championship match. Sarah Doyle, the senior from Glendale, California, serving. Going over to Schaefer and a whistle and double contact here on the set.
And you mentioned trying to sweep, so these two teams, this is the 4th time they've met in the conference finals. We said in the pregame, UMass Boston is 3-0. They've only dropped 1 set in those 3 wins.
Doyle on the serve, right at Chartier. Bowers going up to Schaefer, and that one's just too far away for Schaefer to try to tip that one over the net.
Yeah, and Schaefer gave that one away really early. Her entire approach, she had her hand wide open. It was obvious that she wasn't going to swing at it. But here we go now. The roles have shifted. Plymouth State now needing that good first contact to get back under control.
Price back set, Norclin, and catches the line!
Yeah, it would have been anyway. I was off the hands of the block, so it wouldn't really matter if it was in or out, but I think it still tagged the line. A nice job of Norkland swinging high.
Haven't seen her on the opposite too much here this afternoon. Panthers back up by 3, 12-9 here in the third set. Here's the slide, and Tescareno doing well on the opposite.
Yeah, UMass Boston has always run that slide really well, going back as far back as 2011 when I first started coaching against them. Their offense has always been very deceptive, running slides, running 31s, moving hitters all over the place, and it does a really good job of confusing opposing blockers if you're not identifying who your hitters are and where they're going early on.
Parker with a big dig, but it's a free over. Rally continues. Schaefer tries to pick out the front corner, but Kiyose covers. Reed, dug out by Bowers. Back and forth the teams go here. Panthers on the attack on the slide from Emily Flanagan. Parker with the help of Kaminsk. And Flanagan going after it, keeps it going.
Yeah, what a great up by Flanagan. Got the crowd up.
It's going to the bench. Panthers trying to clear away. But once again, Tescareno for the kill.
Yeah, and she's moved that ball around. When she's running the slide, she's not hitting the ball in the same spot every time. She's hit some down the line. You saw that 2 points ago, and then this one with the cross court, really giving different looks at the Plymouth State defense.
As this one will go long from Kaminsk. Good awareness from Lex Bowers to let that one go. And what was a 6-point lead was momentarily cut down to 1 for the Panthers. And it is absolutely rocking loud here inside Foley Chip. And an ace for Plymouth State once again here in the set. This time, it's Price.
Yeah, right at Kiyose. That ball didn't look like it moved much. I think a rare error there for Kiyose.
Parker calling it all the way, going out to Kiyose. Flanagan able to dig it out. Schaefer on the attack. Parker with a great dig. Kiyose opposite, or the right, outside. Good Lord, I can get it right eventually. Kept alive by the Beacons. Free attack, and it's Emily Flanagan in the middle.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see out of your middle. Don't try to pass that ball. You're at the net, and you're a middle because you're a big swinger, so take that ball and take a swing at it. And she did a nice job just taking a step off to keep the ball in front of her and then pinning it down.
Beacons close to within 1, but it's back up to a 4-point lead for the Panthers. Kiyose again down the line. Flanagan trying to cover across the court, but it was going to land on the Panthers side.
Yeah, she wasn't sure which route to take there. If she really wanted the direct route to the ball, she was going to have to run right over Lex Bowers. So a tough ball. Nice job of Lex getting her hands on it. You want to see her make that platform adjustment so that ball goes back toward the court, though.
Flanagan on the serve receive, going back to Emily Flanagan. She'll just palm this over. Czapiewska, dug out by Flanagan. Here's Rogers, blocked down at the net. Bowers will send a free over. Kaminsk, cross-court set, Czapiewska, and it goes long.
And you may not have noticed that. Even on that play, the free ball, you had UMass Boston running an X. That's where the right side comes into the front to hit a quick set. The middle runs a slide. So that confusion, Plymouth State didn't have a great closed block out on Czapiewska. Got a point because she mishit the ball. But UMass Boston doing things like that, moving hitters around, really creates openings in the block and opportunities for their hitters to score.
Short set there for Flanagan, couldn't get it to fall. Bowers covering the far side, going over to Allie Rogers, and it's dug out by Kiyose. Rogers again on the right side, and gets the kill!
Yeah, Allie hasn't had an opportunity to have a lot of attacking up there. She's really just kind of been setting the ball over the net because of where those sets have been and because of the big block of the Beacons, but she's been able to find the floor quite a bit.
Stoppage here as Kaminsk is looking for the sweat on the far line. Plymouth State, the fans, a couple of boos here as maybe a little stall tactic for the Beacons to regroup defensively.
That's right. Anybody who's been to a Plymouth State home game knows the Panthers do this as well as anybody.
Especially with Lex Bowers. That's kind of her specialty. She knows when to make that happen.
And Coach Kate Carlson's going to take a timeout here anyway, so doesn't seem like the towel issue was that big of a deal anyways.
We'll take a timeout as well. Panthers back up by 5, 17-12.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Be sure to follow all the Little East Conference games all season long on the LEC network. Visit littleeast.tv.
Again, one more championship coming up tomorrow as well in men's soccer. Keene State back in the championship with their win over Rhode Island College. Catch all that action as well here on the LEC network. And it's great to see, Chris, Plymouth State able to be loose with this lead right now. It's something they haven't been able to play with, staying relaxed on the court here so far this match.
It's a big thing for a team, is their mentality.
But it's a big swing on that right side. And Tescareno for the kill. Oh my. So that's a response to the Beacons coming out of their timeout. They have no more remaining for this set. Plymouth State has both of theirs. Parker serving. Near side at Baudet. Back set Rogers, and she'll send this long.
Yeah, Panthers hoping for a touch, but I didn't see one.
And even with my well-trained eye, I didn't see one as well. So the Beacons cut it down to 3, 17-14.
That's something the hitters always do, though, right? You know, no matter where the ball goes, they don't want the attack error. So every time they miss-hit a ball, they think that there should have been a touch.
Good recovery from Alicia Flanagan on the block on Emily Flanagan's attack. Price back set Rogers with that left-handed swing, and it's blocked down by Boston.
Yeah, just a reaction play by Emily Flanagan in the middle, just kind of sticking her arm out, and you saw her older sister Alicia say, hey, don't do that, I'm standing right there. That's something that comes with time, but when you have a freshman in a big spot like that, it's just reaction to put your arms out.
Baudet coming up on the short serve. Lex Bowers is blocked again, it's Doyle.
UMass Boston has really done a nice job controlling the net. That's their 6th team block here today so far.
And the lead is cut to 1. The Beacons, I should say, have not had a lead in this set. But if they can pull this comeback off, it's going to be an ace for Parker. They have a chance of sweeping here in the championship. They're up 2-0 overall.
Really nice serve by Parker. Baudet wasn't sure if she should play that one or not, and she kind of went half into it. If you're going to second guess yourself, you're really in trouble. You just got to go for it. Even if it's out, you want to make sure that you're putting over a good pass.
Oh, great read by Price to find the open middle.
And Price actually leading the Panthers now. That's her 5th kill. That's the most for any Plymouth State attacker.
And it's from your primary setter. Emily Flanagan serving. It's a great one at Kiyose. Back set for Reed, and that one's going to be off the block anyway, and a point to the Beacons.
A nice job by Reed. You don't need to be flashy. I mean, Czapiewska's getting big kill after big kill, but that point is just as important as a kill that hits the 10-foot line. Hitting smart, high off the hands, the ball goes deep, and there's nobody in the back row who can pick that ball up.
Baudet with a nice serve receive. Short set, and Northland beats the block from Doyle.
Yeah, Northland able to get there. That set was a little bit low. Kind of a trap set for Karabak, but she was able to power it past Doyle.
So Hannah Chardia will check in for Rogers and now serve. Panthers back up by 1, trying to keep their season alive. Down 2-0. It's 19-18 here in the 3rd set. Kaminsky charging for it. Czapiewska dug out by Flanagan.
That was a great dig by Alicia, laying out.
Short set for Doyle. Panthers wanted to carry. Going over. Bowers down the line for the kill off the hands of Birch.
Yeah, and that's got the Panther faithful here on their feet, getting fired up. They sense an opportunity to close out the third set here. Just a 2-point lead, but you can really kind of feel the momentum in the gym on the side of Plymouth State.
Hannah Chartier continues to serve strong here in the latter part of this match. Kaminsk, short set, Doyle blocked down, kept alive right now by the Beacons. Czapiewska sends a free ball over. Middle attack for Norkland, and she'll get the kill.
Yeah, trying to tip it right over Doyle's hands. It actually ended up going right to Doyle. And she popped it up with just one hand and wasn't able to really, you can't really control a volleyball very well one-handed most of the time, and that kind of ended up over by the scorer's table.
So Panthers need 4 more points to continue this championship match. They're up 21-18. Let's go Plymouth, the chant. Kaminsk going up Czapiewska, and she unloads and gets her 9th kill.
She's been doing it all day. Nice job. She took a little bit off of that one to make sure she hit that seam between Brooke O'Day and Alicia Flanagan.
Michaela Garrity, the freshman, will check back in and now serve for the Beacons. It's a beauty. That just knuckled. Nearly a carry. Panthers wanted a call, but the rally continues.
Yeah, nothing illegal about that play.
Kaminsk went up. Beats the block and gets the kill.
Yeah, Kaminsk went up to block, blocked it into the net. The block doesn't count as a contact. She just played it up. Of course, I'm not entirely sure that the men's basketball team knows the intricacies of the rules of volleyball. So, of course, they see somebody hit it twice, and they're all up in arms. But that was correct call. Point ended up in the Panthers' favor anyway. And now a big block for Plymouth State.
Yes, it's Norkland and Schaefer there for the block assist. Panthers 2 points away from taking a crucial third set to keep their season alive.
And if Kate Carlson had a timeout left, she probably would have taken it by now, but she used them both early.
Another great dig from Alicia Flanagan. Schaefer on the outside. Parker's there off the partial block. Doyle blocked down, and a point to Plymouth State.
Yeah, the Plymouth State bench is so excited. The coaches dropped all their papers, had to pick them all up. Great block by Francie Schaefer, closing in to help Carabeth Norkland in the middle, and now Plymouth State has set point.
Free over, dog out, but a whistle and a point to the Beacons as Plymouth State was in the net.
Yeah, Norkland and Schaefer fought over that ball. They both wanted to put it away. They argued about it. They cleared it up. Norkland will let Schaefer take that one because it's on her strong side, so it should be the right-handed player taking that ball there.
24-20, another set point for the Panthers. Little miscommunication. Chartier's going to have to send a free ball over. Open opportunity for the Beacons.
Watch the slide.
Here it is, and it's blocked down, but it's dug out at the table, and Plymouth State takes set number 3 and keeps the season alive. We're moving to set number 4, Chris.
Great job. Beacons did what you expected to with Tiscareno up there. She's run that slide and been very successful with it earlier in the set. Plymouth State made the adjustment on the block there and were able to get out and close it down and force a 4th set. That's exactly what we were hoping for. As a fan of volleyball, you don't want to see a sweep in the championship game. Both of these teams have battled so hard all season long. I want this thing to go to 5. I don't care who wins. I just want to go to 5. I want to see good volleyball.
We'll see what's going to happen. We'll step aside once again as we get ready for the 4th set. Beacons still have a chance to pull off a major upset. Panthers need to go the distance here to win their 2nd title in program history. Stay tuned. 4th set coming up next here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
diving in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's going to become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
Welcome back, everybody. Dan Salzer alongside former coach and my partner, Chris Kilmer, here as we get ready for the fourth set. Plymouth State storms back and takes set 3, leading the entire way. Only got tied up a couple of times, but takes it 25-20. And we look at some of the stats, and Plymouth State finally getting over, hitting 100, but the rest of the stats really stepping up as well.
Yeah, Panthers up to 128 that set. Still not where they've been all season long. A large contributor to that fact is the way the Beacons have been playing defense, and especially blocking at the net, really kind of helping to control that Panthers offense. So what you want to see if you're a fan of Plymouth State is another strong start where you can build that confidence, extend that confidence that you just got from winning set number 3. And on the flip side for the Beacons, just keep doing what you've been doing. Yes, you did lose, but there were a lot of really good things that you did throughout that set. It was what you expect. Another couple point run at some point in a set is going to make the difference between who wins and loses each of these sets.
Yeah, you talk about the defense stepping up. So far, 47 digs for the Beacons, 45 for the Panthers. Panthers have had 112 attacks to 99 for UMass Boston, but we're underway in set number 4. Schaefer reaching for the net. Good attack. Kaminsk has to play it over on the dig. Here's Schaefer again at Parker this time. Tescareno couldn't get that one to fall. Price unloads, and she'll get the kill.
And why not? Alexa Price now with her 6th kill, tying Carabeth Northland for the team lead. Bowers also has 6. That time, instead of a tip, she actually took an approach and was ready to swing.
Allie Rogers will check in now for Plymouth State. Price serving at Parker again. Commence. And it's Czapiewska on the outside, just unloading on that swing.
Yeah, and the good pass was able to freeze Emily Flanagan in the middle, so just a single block out there. That's not going to work. Czapiewska is just too good.
Parker on the serve, right at Bowers. Going over Emily Flanagan on the outside, towing the line, and the line judge says it was out.
Yeah, Kaminsk was right on that line. She was ready for that ball if it was going to be in, and she wisely let it go.
So the Beacons have their first lead since the second set. They're up 2-1 early on here in set number 4. And an ace! Good work for Parker. Has her second ace here this afternoon.
And you want to see how Plymouth State reacts. You didn't think that UMass Boston was going to roll over, hopefully. If you did, you don't know UMass Boston Volleyball very well.
Right side, Schaefer, the kill! Kelsey couldn't control it. So Brooke Baudet comes in for Schaefer once again on those rotations they've been doing all season long. Baudet to serve. Parker with the serve receive on the slide. Doyle sent it long.
It looked like Brooke Baudet was thinking about playing that ball for a second. I'm not sure if she thought there might have been a touch or not, but she did pull her hand back in time.
Yeah, the Panther coaching staff just throwing hands up. Let it go.
Yeah.
Kaminsk here on the set. Right side for Reed down the line, and Flanagan was there. And a whistle, a late whistle on the double contact against Allie Rogers.
Yeah, and that was a good call. Definitely did not come out clean.
Just seems as though Rogers was still working back towards the sideline there, trying to make a play on it for that double contact.
Yeah, she was kind of transitioning to get ready to hit, and Alexa Price was there to set, but the ball ended up coming right to Rogers.
Price going other way. Looks Bowers unloads, but it's dug out nicely by Birch. Good reflexes defensively by both sides. This one blocked down, and a point to UMass Boston. It's Doyle And Czapiewska again.
Yeah, Birch, great dig on the huge swing down the line from Lex Bowers. A little bit of just trying to protect herself, and also wise enough to get her hands in a way that she controls the ball and doesn't go flying. Kind of actually ended up being a really nice pass.
And it's going to be help with a net for Sydney Birch for the ace. Her first one here this afternoon. Her side's up by 3, 6-3. Trying to take the Little East Conference title, I believe for the third time in 4 years. Bowers sends it over from deep. Czapiewska down the line and misses.
Panthers got a break there because Emily Flanagan went with Sarah Doyle expecting the slide and left Czapiewska one-on-one with Allie Rogers again. Those are things that, as the freshman, you're not accustomed to seeing, and this is the drawback from playing a weaker schedule, is that you're not playing teams that run an offense as complex as UMass Boston, so this is all new for a freshman. You kind of hope that she has some experience seeing things like that before the championship game when everything is on the line.
As Czapiewska again beats the block, gets her 11th kill of the match. It's a match high. Only one in double figures in kills. Going over to Rogers of the Panthers. This one's dug out by Garrity. She'll have a backline attack. Up towards the net. And a tough one defensively for Plymouth State.
Yeah, Bode just needs to get her platform up a little bit higher so the ball doesn't go so close to the net. And that's a ball I'm sure that she wishes she had back again.
Kayla Garrity serving. At Bode. Northland slams it home!
Yeah, Northland's done a really good job hitting with her left hand. She is right-handed, but she's able to tip that ball in a lot of different places with her left hand, and that time able to find some floor. It's Plymouth State trying to cut into this little deficit. It's 5-3 right now. I'm sorry, 5-8, 3-point deficit.
There you go. I'm not the only one who can't read.
Math is hard.
Birch there on the serve receive. Kiyose tries to attack the line. Chartier covers. Battle towards the net, and a miscommunication there with Doyle and Kaminsk, and lands on the Beacon side.
Yeah, I think Kaminsk thought that Doyle was going to play that ball above the net. And as a coach, I always told my hitters that if you have a chance to play the ball above the net, do it. That's what you're in there for. You're not in there to pass.
So a 4-point lead is cut to 2. 3 over on the serve receive. Northland trying to take advantage, but she'll send this long.
Yeah, not a great transition for Karabeth there. She didn't get her full approach in, just kind of like a half-step swing. Ended up hitting that ball flat, and it went long.
Bring up Sarah Doyle, the senior, to serve for the Beacons. Price going for Bowers, trying to go off speed. Kiyose, and a point to Plymouth State on the double contact.
Yeah, it was a great cover by Kiyose to come all the way in and pick up that tip and transition back out to attack, but Kaminsk just called for the double contact.
We hope you fans are enjoying this one as much as we are calling it. Kaminsk. And a whistle here, and they're going to say Plymouth State was in the net before the attack.
Yeah, Northland got it on her way up. That's frustrating as a blocker. It happens every now and then.
Either way, Tescareno was there in the middle for the kill.
Yeah, and Karabeth was laughing about it. She looked over at the bench. She's like, I can't believe that happened, but a big smile, so hopefully that means that she's not going to be thinking about it for too long.
Little official timeout as Flanagan picks up some moisture on the court. UMB leading 10-7, trying to close out this championship match. Carson Kaminsk on his serve, and it's a service error. Her first service error here this afternoon, her 49th of the year.
Plymouth State within 2. A good server and Alicia Flanagan back there, a chance to cut this deficit.
They talk about good servings from her. 66 service aces entering this match. And initially it was pancaked by Hannah Chartier, but it's Tescareno in the middle.
Really good tempo on that gap set, that 31 set. Just really fast. And again, we've talked about it, the lack of playing a high-powered offense or a high-paced offense is kind of hurting Plymouth State here.
And it's going to be an ace for Kiyose. Her second service ace this match. She's really been hot and cold throughout this match. We started off really strong, cooled off in the second and third. Now heating back up when it matters. Schaefer unloads. Parker takes it out. That's going to be sent over by the Beacons. Free attack for the Panthers. Schaefer too far away.
And that was a nice job of Plymouth State running something off of the free ball. Flanagan went for the slide, and Tiscareño started, took one step with her before she was able to read the setter. So there was a little bit of a gap in that block, but Schaefer was unable to get her hand on the ball.
Beacons have their largest lead of the set at 5. Czapiewska with a nice dig. Tiscareño been the target attacker so far for the Beacons as of late. Can't get that one to fall. Czapiewska down the line, dug out by Chartier. Back row attack from Lex Bowers. Going over to Reed at the net, and has the help of the net and falls.
Yeah, she just hit that straight into the top of the net. Flanagan slow to close the block. As Schaefer was there one-on-one, and ends up hitting the net, dribbling straight back down for a Beacons point. And now UMass Boston with a 14-8 lead forces head coach Joan Forge to take a timeout.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout once again. Beacons trying to close this one out. You're watching the LEC championship match here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
Hi, I'm Mark Emmert, president of the NCAA. We at the NCAA are committed to making sure our student athletes make the most out of their college experience. That means getting a degree. Doing well in school will help you make the most out of your education as well. We want you to study hard, read at least 30 minutes a day, and learn everything you can, because we know just how important it is to your future. While the young men and women that play college sports may be great athletes, each is a student first. Just like you, NCAA college athletes need to stay focused on their health and their schoolwork. Very few of them will go on to play professionally.
Back here at a Plymouth State's timeout, Dan Salzer alongside Chris Kilmer. And Chris, we've seen Tiscareño really come alive here in the latter part of this match so far, in the middle for the Beacons. How can Plymouth State work to try to get her out of the attacks?
So work defensively, you mean?
Either way, yeah.
Well, so defensively, you need to do a better job of identifying where the hitters are and where they want to go. And if you're going to send a free ball, you have to have your eyes on those hitters and then also be able to read Carson Kaminsky. That's not an easy job, by the way. She's a very deceptive setter. But what's happened a lot for UMass Boston is they've gotten a lot of one-on-one opportunities. And as a setter, that's all you're hoping for. You give your hitter a chance to swing against just a single block.
Let's see Czapiewska unload, gets her 12th kill. And the Beacons bench is alive once again.
And Plymouth State made the switch. Now it's Jaya Woodland back in instead of Allie Rogers on the right side.
Trying to go for that height on the blocks, and it's going to end up being an ace for Czapiewska. Parker, my apology.
Beacons smelling victory now, closing in with a 7-point lead. Just need 9 more to go.
Parker has done well as libero on serves. Jaya Woodland beats the block and gets the kill. That one's off the hands of Doyle. Doyle, the Little East Conference first team player from last year, ended up having the best hitting percentage in the conference in 2018, and she's done well here this afternoon. But just gets beat that time. This time Reed dug out by Flanagan. Woodland battled at the net. Price is there to help cover. And that's mistouched, and it's going to land on the Panthers' side.
Yeah, a couple of strange things happened there. Alexa Price, I think she might have twisted her ankle trying to run into that ball, and she ended up on the ground. You had Woodland there. You had Lex Bowers with the tip, and nothing really in sync for the Panthers right there offensively.
Lead at 7, 17-10. Beacons can taste another title. This one is into the net from Bowers.
Bowers ended up on the floor. I don't know if she slipped or if she caught feet underneath the net with Carson Kaminsky. I didn't see what happened.
Birch serving again. It's a bullet. Woodland can't get it to Price, and things are starting to fall apart for the Panthers.
Yeah, Woodland trying to do too much with that ball there. You're running into the crowd. You just want to put it up somewhere in the middle of the court and give your team a chance to just play it back over. She tried to make a perfect set, which is hard for a setter to do on that play, but certainly hard for Jaya, and ends up giving a point right to the Beacons, an easy point for UMass Boston.
Beacons 6 points away from a conference title. We'll step aside for a 30-second break.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the...
So here we go. Beacons lead by 9, 19-10, 6 points away from another Little East Conference title. Panthers are back in the championship match for the first time since 2016. They are having a historic season. Maybe question it with the strength of schedule, but it doesn't matter. It's the confidence that head coach Joan Forge wanted that's really propelled the Panther side to get to this championship match. And hopefully Plymouth State can battle and try to send us to a decisive fifth set.
Yeah, that's what you hope if you're a Panther fan. Of course, if you're from Beaconsville, you want to just close this thing out and not give Plymouth State any chance at coming back on you.
Oh, and an ace for Emily Flanagan. That thing just absolutely died coming over the net. Her second service ace. And this one just misses long. Good awareness and good communication by the Beacons for Parker to let that one go.
And you don't need to be perfect if you're Plymouth State, but you got to be pretty darn close. You also don't want to be easy. You got to stay aggressive. You can't just lob nice, easy serves over there and make sure they stay in, because the Beacons are just going to tear that up.
Garrity on that serve, nearly got an ace. Panthers keep the rally going. Kiyose gets the kill down the line. They say Plymouth State was into the net first before the attack.
Yeah, Woodland got the net there. And, you know, if you're UMass Boston now, you have a sizable lead. You have a chance to close it out. You know they're going to be aggressive.
Magic numbers 4. Beaconville can taste the title. Woodland on the opposite side. Can't get it to fall. Free ball to net. And it's Jaya Woodland.
Yeah, Jaya Woodland, a big fist pump, screaming at her teammates, let's go, trying to get the Panthers fired up.
Hannah Chartier serving. Needs to go on a run here to get her Panther side back in it. Doyle's blocked down. Kiyose from deep, and it gets it off the hands of the Panthers.
Yeah, Plymouth State's block jumped early on that, like she was hitting right up on the net, but she was about 6-7 feet off. So they ended up on their way down as the attack kind of just dribbled off the top of the fingers. Beacons now just 3 points away from title number 9.
Oh, and just stopped on that serve from Doyle. Nearly just fell over with the help of the tape. But a lucky break for Plymouth State as Schaefer checks back in.
Now Panthers get their leading hitter back in the front row at crunch time.
Down by 8. Tescareno will attack the back line. Here's Schaefer. Oh, loads for the kill!
That's what you want if you're a Panther fan.
Again, fans, whenever this match may end, whether it's now with the Beacons or the Panthers send it to 5, stay tuned. Post-game ceremony coming up next. On the slide, Tescareno finds the empty middle of the court.
Yeah, that slide, that's been her play. She's run that over and over and over again as Reed checks back in for the Beacons.
And the magic number is 2. Carson Kaminsk, the junior, will serve. And it goes long. So a big essentially potentially season-saving side out for the Panthers.
Well, but you're going to need to score some points offensively here. Volleyball is a strange sport in that you score most of the points by giving the other team the ball, but they're going to need to go on a run. You can't just trade side outs here.
Tescareno, that's covered by Chartier. Schaefer beats the block for the kill!
Nice job swinging hard and on the inside of Tiscareno, and a smart timeout here by Coach Kate Carlson, not letting Plymouth State build up too much momentum. Keep the lead. You're up by 6. You only need 2, and right now she's telling her team, hey, nice easy pass. Let's run something fun, put the ball away. Then all we need is 1 point, we can celebrate.
We'll see what's going to happen. Don't go anywhere here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
Diving in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's going to become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
Welcome back, fans, once again inside Foley Gymnasium. Dan Salzer alongside former Panther coach and my partner Chris Kilmer here on the LEC Network. And Chris, the nerves have got to be creeping up for the Beacons, only 2 points away from another conference title.
I don't know about the nerves, certainly the excitement.
And an ace to the Panthers here, and their run continues as they crawl back into this.
Yeah, and that's all you can do is just try to chip away. You kind of try to generate a couple more points on this service run. You need to be smart at the net, watching your hitters, putting up a good block here.
Tescareno on the delay, gets the kill, and it's match point. It's championship point here for UMass Boston.
That absolutely cannot happen if you're Plymouth State. 3 players all stop and look at each other. You're down 23-18, down 2-1 in the championship game. You got to be running into each other for that ball.
So here it is, Kiyose, championship point, and it's an ace, and UMass Boston, the 4 seed, comes up to Plymouth, and they are once again champions in the Little East Conference.
UMass Boston, just a great match, a great game plan. They were able to use the offense, move their hitters around. Very successful, improved to 9-1 in the conference championship round. An unbelievable record in the championship round. And so the Beacons... Go ahead.
Getting caught up here in the press box of things, but yeah, when you look at the Beacons, again, you don't look at their record as an impressive at 11-18, but it's their strength of schedule. Chris talked about it earlier, being that it was up there in the top, I think top 50 or near the top 50 in the country, and that really propelled them here in the postseason.
Yeah, I believe opponent winning percentage was something like 29th, the strongest in the country. Obviously, they are a very talented team. It's been a long time for the Beacons. You know, they haven't won in 2 years. That's an eternity when you're this program. But able to come up into Plymouth State as the lower seed. They knocked off a number of teams, beating number 5 Keene State, and then going up to knock off the top seed Western Connecticut Colonials in the thrilling semifinal. Had a 2-0 lead. Just to see WestCon battle back and force a 5th set. Beacons trailing 10-6 in that semifinal before rattling off 9 points there to close it out, and then came up here to Plymouth on a mission today. A very good back and forth first set, able to pull out the win late. Second set, really things just started to click for the Beacons, and then they were able to control things from there.
So we're going to step aside as we get ready for the championship ceremony. We congratulate the Beacons of UMass Boston, once again champions here in the Little East Conference. They're back in the big dance in 2019. We'll send it down to our public address announcer and Hunter Boyce as we get ready for the championship ceremony.
The Little East Conference would like to thank Plymouth State University and its staff for hosting this year's Little East Conference Women's Volleyball Championship Tournament Final. Please join the Little East Conference in congratulating this year's runner-up, Plymouth State University, on a tremendous season and LEC tournament run. Now please join us in as we honor the 2019 Little East Conference Women's Volleyball Champions, UMass Boston! Please join us in welcoming Little East Conference Commissioner Pam Samuelson as we take a moment and acknowledge the individual members of the 2019 LEC Women's Volleyball Champion, the Beacons! Number 2, Alex Czapiewska. Number 3, Bianca Coffey da Sousa. Number 4, Samantha Martinez. Number 5, Jill Francis. Number 6, Emilia Czapiewska. Number 7, Michaela Garotti. Number 9, Carson Kaminsk. Number 10, Brianna Henderson. Number 14, Tyler Parker. Number 15, Sarah Doyle. Number 17, Lexi Kotsis. Number 18, Sydney Birch. Number 19, Taryn Brogel. Number 21, Marcel Tiscareno. Number 22, Kelsey Pereira. Number 23, Alex Cook. And number 24, Mallory Reed. Congratulations to all the players and staff on a job well done. The LEC Championship Tournament Most Outstanding Player is awarded to the player that has the biggest impact on its team's success throughout the 2019 LEC Women's Volleyball Championship Tournament. The 2019 Little East Conference Championship Tournament Most Outstanding Player is presented to UMass Boston's junior Emilia Czapiewska. At this time, we invite the captains from UMass Boston to come forward to accept the 2019 Little East Conference Championship Trophy. Let's have one more round of applause for the 2019 LEC Women's Volleyball Champion, UMass Boston.
So that will do it. We're going to step aside, take a quick commercial break. We get ready for the post-game show. It's the fourth-seeded Beacons of the University of Massachusetts Boston, your champions here in 2019. Don't go anywhere. Post-game show coming up next here on the LEC Network and Pemmy Baker TV.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
Hi, I'm Mark Emmert, President of the NCAA. We at the NCAA are committed to making sure our student athletes make the most out of their college experience. That means getting a degree. Doing well in school will help you make the most out of your education as well. We want you to study hard, read at least 30 minutes a day, and learn everything you can, because we know just how important it is.
Welcome fans back inside Foley Gymnasium. Post-game show here as we'll send it downstairs to Chris Kilmer standing by with the Beacons interim head coach and Kate Carlson and the most valuable player here in Emilia, Czapiewska.
Thanks, Dan. So, Emilia, it's been an interesting season for you. Missed a lot of time with ankle injuries, but you're finally back, finally healthy. Had a tear through the Little East Conference tournament, double-digit kills in every one of your matches. So really, what was the mentality like for you getting through a difficult season riddled with injury to be able to come out and play as well as you did for the tournament?
I think that as a whole team, our loss last year, we were really excited to come in here and just we were really hungry and we really wanted to get this W to make up for last season. And personally, since I missed so much, I was like, I got to prove myself, come back strong, come back hard. And I just wanted to be there for the team and the seniors, It's our last season, got to get that W.
Well, congratulations, Emilia. You can go celebrate with your team now. I'm going to steal Coach Carlson for a couple more minutes. And Coach, we talked earlier before the game started while you guys were here getting warmed up. Not necessarily the typical UMass Boston season when somebody who doesn't know Beacons volleyball just looks at the records. 12-18 now. we're throughout New England accustomed to like 25, 30 wins a year out of you guys. Yet somehow, end of the season, no matter what, it seems like there are the Beacons in the LEC tournament, ripping it up, and just another tournament win. Now 9-1 in program history in finals matches. So, what was the season like for you? And then, how did it all come together to have this really great tournament run?
So I feel like the season was definitely an emotional roller coaster to say the least. But I've been telling them all along that our record never in any case reflected what we were capable of doing and what the season was. It was just managing the injuries, the bizarre injuries that we had over the course of those couple of months. And, you know, for us to be able to turn it around, we have just conquered so much. And from day one of preseason, we had November 9th written on our whiteboard on every single piece of paper that we were ready to revenge from last season.
And so that was obviously a big motivating factor for you guys not being in the finals last year. Just the second time in the last 12 years that the Beacons hadn't been in a championship match. So you're going to find out on Monday where you go. What are your thoughts about the NCAA tournament?
We're just happy that we won right now. We're going to take it in, and we're ready to keep this season going and keep getting those wins on that other side.
Well, thanks, Coach. We have no doubt that you're going to represent the conference well in the NCAA tournament. Good luck. Best of luck the rest of the way. We'll all be watching.
Thank you so much. We did it, Mike. Woo!
Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you to interim head coach there in Kate Carlson, as well as the league's most valuable player in Emilia Czapiewska. My apologies. So, wrapping up the post-game show, Chris will join us back up here. He'll get reset. Czapiewska finishes with a match-high 12 kills, only 4 errors, hit .286, came up with 4 digs in 5 critical blocks for the Beacons as they come away with victory. And Chris, as we welcome you back up here to the booth, any final thoughts that you have not only on this match, an epic one that you want to see in the championship, but also the strong seasons for both sides?
Yeah, well, from the Plymouth State side, obviously a season for the record books, a number of program records made and broken this season. 32-5 is the final overall record. Just an outstanding season from start to finish. And obviously a little bit of disappointment here at the end of the year because you always want to win that last match, but not every team, in fact, most teams aren't winning their final matches of the year. And so a lot that Plymouth State can look back on and feel really proud about what they've done and what they were able to do just to get to this point. Remember, in the preseason coaches poll, they were picked 7th out of 9 teams. So the other coaches in the conference didn't even think that this was a tournament caliber team when that poll came out. And to really flip the switch and right from the get-go came out of the gates and won their first 9 matches and really could have very well been 10 because they were up 2-0 at Eastern Nazarene before suffering a 5-set defeat, but then rattled off another 9-match winning streak after that. And it just seemed to keep going and going for this Panther squad, building confidence. So obviously there's going to be some key changes for the roster next year with the graduation of Allie Rogers, Alicia Flanagan, and Lex Bowers. But there's, you'll have Francie Schaefer and Carrie Beth Norkland back. You have a year of development for Emily Flanagan. So lots of positives for this Panthers team going forward.
Yeah, take nothing away from Plymouth State. Regular season co-champions as well with Eastern Connecticut State and WestCon. So we talk about all the other coaches here in the league kind of discrediting Plymouth State going into the year, being that 7th seed. To come away with at least that part of the season is well-deserved for this Panthers side. But it's the 4th seed in the University of Massachusetts Boston. They are your 2019 champions. And Chris, this will be our final broadcast for volleyball this season, and it's been a joyous occasion to work with you.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, and obviously you feel really happy for Beaconsville. The winning never gets old, and they always, like I said with Coach, it seems like every year, at the end of the year, they're the team that's still here, and no matter what their regular season looks like, you know that they're ready, they're tournament tested, they've been through it, they had that motivating factor, as you heard Coach Kate Carlson talk about losing in last year's semifinal. They felt like they had unfinished business, and they were able to really put together a nice tournament run and claim another tournament title well, and I have no doubt that they're going to represent this conference very well as they move on to the NCAA tournament. They'll find out where they go during the NCAA selection show. That's on Monday afternoon.
We'll be at 12:30 on NCAA.com. But that's going to do it for us here in 2019. Panther Nation, tune in later this afternoon in 2 hours' time for men's basketball season opener against New England College. We'll have all that coverage for you right here on the LEC Network. But for our entire staff here this afternoon, our camera crew in Mike Noon, Ian Henderson, and Carlton Sanborn, our great producer as well this afternoon in the championship match, and Isaiah Bolden, my partner one more time here in 2019, Chris Kilmer. I'm Dan Salzer. Final scores for the final time. The four-seeded Beacons take it 25-22, 25-15, 20-25, and 25-18 for the 3-1 victory. We thank you for joining us all season long here on the LEC Network. We'll see you in 2020. Beacons, your champions here in 2019.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go? South front.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.